What's up, everybody? Today we have the privilege of reviewing one of my all-time favorite vehicles, the Audi R8. But this is not just any R8. It is the new rear-wheel drive R8 RWS, one of only 999 which will be made globally, and 320 which will make it to the States. So needless to say, this is a very special car. And special thanks to Audi of Lexington for giving us this opportunity. So by all means, if you are looking for an Audi, make sure to stop by, give them a call, or visit their website, which we have provided a link to in the video description. So with that said, let's go ahead and get to it. So getting started with the exterior design, the R8 was recently redesigned, but thankfully Audi didn't mess with its iconic shape much at all. Instead, they opted to sharpen up some of the softer edges of the last generation and go for a high-tech angular look. The result is a really mean look, especially with the black on black scheme of this R8. Now as far as your differences for the RWS, basically it comes standard with a black optic package, so the grille and all the surrounding areas will be black no matter what exterior color. But of course no Audi would be complete without really nice headlights, so you do have fully LED lighting. I will mention, however, that the RWS cannot get the laser high beams like the standard model can. Rounding off the front are giant air intakes to cool off the brakes. Around at the side, the R8 looks like nothing else. Like I said, its shape is truly iconic, and the proportions are fantastic despite it actually being shorter than the Acura NSX, Porsche 911, and McLaren 570S. Once again, the RWS does black out the side blades, which are silver on the Quattro model. But around back, this might be my favorite part of the R8. Obviously it looks really mean like the rest of the car, but the ability to look through the glass and see the engine is just outrageously cool. And the other big crowd pleaser will be the adaptive spoiler, which pops out at your command or automatically at 75 miles per hour. In the middle area, you have full LED taillights with dynamic turn signals and a giant vent for air to pass out of. And then at the bottom, you have a special aerodynamically designed rear diffuser with 4 trapezoidal exhausts built in. The baffles are adjustable, but any mode you put it in, the R8's V10 is one of the best exhaust notes of any car, period. Overall, it's hard to make a car look both exotic and elegant, but the R8 does it like few others can. Of course, one part of the design I haven't talked about yet are these incredible wheels. They are the optional 20-inch anthracite finished wheels, wrapped in 245/30 summer performance tires in the front, and wider 305/30 performance tires in the rear. They assure that despite it being rear-wheel drive, grip continues to be fantastic. As far as stopping power, you cannot get the carbon ceramic brakes on the RWS, so you'll have to make do with 14.4-inch 8-piston ventilated disc brakes in the front, and 4-piston 14-inch ones in the rear. Now the R8 RWS actually shares 50% common parts with the LMS GT4 race car, including a chassis that is made with a substantial amount of carbon fiber and aluminum. It is also the lightest R8 you can buy, with a weight reduction of 110 pounds compared to the Quattro, bringing it to 3,505 pounds. Additionally, this R8 comes standard with the magnetic ride suspension, so it does adapt with the drive modes, and it's also surprisingly comfortable over rough roads. Now, as you would expect, the R8 does not get the best fuel economy, but it does come with a very large 21.9 gallon fuel tank to make up for it. That means despite its 18 mpg combined rating, it can still travel nearly 400 miles on a tank. That is, if you can resist going full throttle at every possible opportunity. Anyways, with that, we conclude the awesome exterior. But now let's get on to the part you probably most want to see, the test drive.
Saying that the R8 is pretty powerful at 532 horsepower, and boy does it sound good. Says this goes 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, but I think they're being a little conservative on that. agree with you on this. The ride comfort is just ridiculous in a car like this, for to be so small, so low to the ground, have gigantic wheels, and be a supercar. And I mean, this road is not super smooth or anything, and this, I mean, it feels just like a luxury car just riding along.
It's very comfortable.
I don't think I'd mind having this as an everyday driver myself. So. Of course, very strong brakes. unlock?
Yeah.
Alright. Next red light.
Hopefully they'll get through and we won't.
Yeah. This thing's so quick it catches up to him immediately. If you wait like 5 seconds, you'll be right on him and just so... Ah, stupid Camry. I started a little early.
So this is the first Audi production model to feature rear-wheel drive, and it's even more linked to the R8 race car than the Quattro model. But as with most supercars, it has a huge engine under the hood, rocking a 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10 engine, which produces 532 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. Now there also isn't a V10 Plus model for the rear-drive R8s, and there's also not a manual transmission available. That said, it's paired to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, and that shifts gears in a mere 120 milliseconds, up there with some of the best cars in the world. All of this combines to get it to 60 in 3.7 seconds, and eventually to a top speed of 199 miles per hour. Fuel economy for the rear-drive R8 is a little bit better than the Quattro model, rated at 14 city, 25 highway, 18 combined, but it's still not enough to get you out of the $1,300 gas guzzler tax.
So as you would expect from an exotic vehicle, you do have a really nice key fob with piano black trim, real metal, and R8 badging. As far as the buttons, they are the same, except this one is for the front. Now to unlock the R8, it's pretty much the same as other Audis. You just have to locate the door handle, which is underneath this, grab it, and squeeze, and they'll open right up. So looking inside the R8, of course this is an exotic, but you can already tell that there's a lot of luxury in here as well. On this model, we've got the black, fine Napa leather interior, though you can also get a red color if you prefer. We've also upgraded to the optional $3,400 carbon fiber package instead of the standard anthracite. For the door trim, of course it is covered in supple leather from head to toe. And we've got an aluminum door handle and some carbon fiber accents. Now these seats here are special. These are the 18-way power seats that come via the premium package, and they include power thigh support, adjustable bolsters, the whole 9 yards. Otherwise, on the base model, you get an 8-way power seat. Of course, no matter what model you get though, like I said, you have fine Napa leather, which is just extremely sumptuous. So the R8's always been known as the everyday supercar, and now that I'm inside here, I'm starting to realize why. It feels surprisingly spacious, and like I already mentioned, it is luxurious. Now we do have the extended leather that comes in the premium package, so we've got leather on every conceivable surface. I mean, there's almost no part of this I can find that does not have leather or carbon fiber over it, so it's just really sumptuous. And also included in that package is this special Alcantara headliner, which is just beautiful. Now to start the vehicle, the button is on the steering wheel, which is really cool. So all you have to do is, of course, put your foot on the brake and press to start. Now we started up there in dynamic mode, so that of course sounds amazing. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a tour around the cabin. Starting off with, you do have virtual cockpit, which is awesome in every Audi. Works pretty much the same as it does in all the other ones, so you can just press that and cycle between your big tack or your big media stuff like your map as well. You can also cycle back to the first screen to see your special R8 stuff. So you've got a G meter, and then if you go down here to the bottom, you've got your engine power and torque percent, as well as of course your engine and oil temperatures. Moving on back here, I'm a sucker for an awesome steering wheel, and this one certainly has one. Flat bottom, perforated leather wrapped, real metal, and even leather over the airbag cover. There are loads of buttons on here, so these are basically just for your virtual cockpit, and then down here you've got your drive mode select. Now this cycles you through your 4 different modes: comfort, automatic, dynamic, the most hardcore, and then your individual mode where you can customize which different setting you want for each individual characteristic. On the other side, you've got your engine start stop, and then these are your traditional media buttons. Back behind the shifter, you will find your paddle shifters, and you also have rain sensing wipers. This vehicle does also have cruise control, and the steering wheel is manually adjusting. Now, of course, not many of you will care about this, but I'm going to talk about the storage anyways. So the main storage in the car is actually this shelf back behind the seats, since this is where you can store things, and this combined with the front make up 8 cubic feet of space. So not much, of course. You do have a little net though, and you do have a CD player as well. If you're wondering where the cup holders are, they're actually underneath of this cover. And then you've got some more space up here, which is surprisingly deep, and has 2 USB ports, an aux jack, and a 12-volt outlet. So all in all, this is not a lot of space compared to a mainstream vehicle, but for a supercar, it's actually pretty good. Now heading back here, we do have an electronic shifter. So all you have to do is press this button in and pull back for drive. Now you can shift manually by bumping over to the right here, although I imagine you'll probably just rather use the paddle shifters. Of course, since there is no center display, the backup camera does appear right in front of you. There is active trajectory, and you do have parking sensors as well right there. Just press the P to park. Now, like I said, there is no center display, but you still do have your same MMI touch controllers. So you can just press any of these buttons, like navigation or whatnot, and it'll come up there. And you still have your menu that you can cycle through as well. Now we do have the optional 13-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system, so let's go ahead and take a listen. As you would expect for that many speakers in a tiny cabin, sound quality is excellent. You do have a row of buttons up here. This one defeats your traction control, turns on your hazards, turns off your parking sensors, and then this one's the coolest one since it raises your adaptive spoiler. So other than that, you've got your climate controls. They are automatic, of course, and just controlled with these 3 knobs. Very, very simple to use. And you've got 3-stage heated seats as well, located right here. Moving up, you've got a mirror with a compass, LED lighting, which is touch sensitive, and your HomeLink universal remotes as well. And like I said, this headliner is really, really, really nice. So overall, I can't emphasize enough how impressed I am with this cabin. I could truly see living with this on an everyday basis, and that's what makes the R8 so special, because most of the sports cars that it competes with, they're just really unbearable for everyday living, for anything but special occasion. But this is a car I could see a customer driving as much as possible. Absolutely lovely.
It is pretty awesome, I have to say. So thank you guys so much, and thanks for watching the video.